Welcome to the Crimeycade. I am your former Game of the Year and the current reigning Pinball Expo, GGA Pinball Expo champion, Stephen Lucas. Back again, episode 9, a special Sunday edition of the program. And as I had to do a little bit of accommodations for our guest today because there is a vast time difference. But before we get to that, a couple of things I wanted to go through the last few weeks. Well, last weekend was the Midwest Gaming Classic, and you know, this is the fastest 48 hours of the year. Now, for the first time, I kind of have the post-convention blues because, this has been the 20th. This is the 20th Midwest Gaming Classic I've attended. I've attended every single one of them since 2004. It wasn't long enough. I've been begging for years they should add another full day to this, but so far they have resisted taking that step. So it just seems like, and the thing was, it grew some more this year. The vendor hall added more space. Now, they had a bit more room to space out the vendors so that nobody could get crowded or anything. And getting around the convention floor was relatively easy. However, because of there's so many daggum vendors, it's like I'm overwhelmed. I'm so overwhelmed. I didn't spend any money hardly. There's only one thing I actually spent money on besides food. This is the only thing I bought. And this is the World of Nintendo, a visual history written by Andy Cunningham. And let me hide this now because I've already finished. The book is in its second edition. It covers the year 1986 to 1990. Apparently, the second volume of this book is going to release in June. And they're going to cover the years 1991 onward, I guess, to 1980 or 1995 or 1996. And it's going to cover the Campus Challenge and the Power Fest. And I kind of wish maybe I got with him or I've encountered Cunningham a little bit sooner because if the book is going to release in about 2 months, it's not going to be a lot of time to get my material in there if he wants me to contribute anything to the book. Certainly the Campus Challenge stuff. Now, he has encountered a windfall of video from Nintendo of America, and he's copied a lot of these videotapes. They're hidden files on YouTube right now. They've not been released. I hope in that pile of video there's footage from the 91 Campus Challenge finals, because if there is, I'm really going to mark out. So preview coming attractions, podcast, I guess, came around at the right time because me having that 91 Campus Challenge title, I now have opportunities to just talk with people who are involved with Campus Challenge kind of after the fact, because I know we had Paul Tessie on this program. He's the record holder for the 91 Nintendo Campus Challenge title, or tournament cartridge with the 24 million run. I've made contact with the person who acquired the only surviving original copy of the 91 Nintendo Campus Challenge cartridge. I hope to get him on here sometime in the near future. Cunningham is going to be another party in this mixture because he's writing about the world of Nintendo, history of Nintendo, and visual history anyway. And he's got all this video footage that probably hasn't been seen in public for decades. The only footage that's out there on the Campus Challenge is the videos that I put up, and then a promo video that was put out by Nintendo promoting, I think, Powerfest. It had clips of me accepting the Geo, the Geo Storm, and the Nintendo Trophy. So some things on the horizon. Also, the next edition of the Guinness Book of World Records. It's supposed to have a blurb on that one of one Nintendo Campus Challenge cart. So maybe a photo of me ends up in the Guinness World Book of Records, and that's going to be it's another thing I'm going to be marking out over. So, a couple of announcements before I get to my guest. Upcoming, because I got the post-convention blues, I kind of feel like I need to go to this. The Columbia, Missouri Retro Game Convention. I've been to the first one. It has doubled in size. Doubled the size last year. It's probably going to be about that size this year because I felt like I didn't do as much as I could with Missouri Game Con. Not Missouri Game Con. That's later this year. The Midwest Game Classic, because I didn't do as much as I wanted to. I kind of feel like I need to go to this. It's a bit out. It's right smack dab in the middle of the state of Missouri. It's a little bit of a drive. Well, about as far as it is to Milwaukee. Maybe a little less. I'm not sure. I had to calculate the miles, but it is a bit of a drive. So I think I'm going to go to this. And then another thing that I have in the near horizon, the Chicago Comic-Con C2E2. I am trying to win another championship. This is the last active title that Galvin Ghost has that I have not won. Jimbo Slice is the reigning champion. So, I want to win this belt. I really want to win this belt. And if I have any hope of getting another one of these on my trophy case and basically the Game of the Year title again, I think everything's contingent on winning that C2E2 title. I've completed part of the equation by winning this belt. So if I have any hope of winning Gamer of the Year a second time, I know could be chasing scores again, but that's only one piece of the puzzle. If I can get that other belt, that'll be 5 belts to my credit. We'll see what happens, but this is the match. This is the matchup that Jimbo Slice versus the Mad Conservative C2E2 Championship, the showdown against the final boss. James White is my final boss. I have to defeat him. And by the way, how does the tournament work? It's going to be, I believe, the same as the Pinball Expo Championship. They're going to choose 7 games out of the lot of games they bring out to the C2E2 convention floor. That is going to be on April the 27th at the McCormick Center in Chicago. Better get your tickets. You got to get them online. If you get them at the door, you're going to have a long wait because of how packed it's going to be. And they've sold out the 3-day ticket packages, so it's going to be single-day tickets available for the time being. But you can make it out there. And by the way, I don't know who's going to be. It's hard telling who else is going to be in that tournament. It's not just going to be me and Jibble Slice. Somebody else may enter it. Somebody else may jump in to win that championship since there's no conflict this year between conventions. Last year, it was the Midwest Gaming Conflict in conflict with the C2E2. So James White, Jimbo Slice, pretty much coasted to victory over there. But because he didn't have me to play against him. I set out the Pinball Expo tournament. So I won't play against him this time around. And sell some unfinished business. Kind of a different way of doing the best of 7 challenge. Now, anybody that's going to enter, by the way, I haven't forgot you, Tracy. How it's going to enter. The 7 games are chosen. You try to get the high score. The points are distributed in this case. If you have the high score, you get 100 points. So it's percentage. What percent are you of the high score? So if you got 100,000 points, that's the high score. And another player got 90,000 points. They get 9%. 9% of the high score. So the percentages of the 7 games get added together, and then that's where you are in the tournament. So for Pinball Expo, I got 590 points because I had high scores on a few of the games. Andrew got second place. He got like, I don't know, close to 520, I guess. I don't quite remember, but it's percentage of the high score is how you accumulate points, and the best performance at the end of the session wins you the belt. So I have a couple other announcements. I'm going to do these on the back end of this because there's a few more things I want to talk about on the back side of this interview because I got more announcements to make, and but I can't keep this lady waiting because it's been a while since I've seen her. She's 6 hours ahead. That's why I'm shooting this podcast at Sunday afternoon. However, it's Sunday evening, way over in the United Kingdom, specifically Manchester. She is the best. I don't know if she has a moniker, but I'm going to give her this one. She is the best female Joust arcade player in the world. Welcome in, Tracey Gleave. How you doing tonight?
That
was a bit of a long. Yep, I can hear you good, clearly. Bit of a long introduction, but
it's okay.
So it's 8:00 in Manchester, England. So you have the world record in Joust, or at least on MAME. I think the world record. Yeah, the world record is like 107 million, and that was by a male player on an actual arcade machine.
Alistair, at my pace, you're looking 55 hours.
55 hours to get 30 million?
To beat 107.
Okay. So how long did it take to do your run on Joust on MAME?
On MAME, about a little over 16 hours because I was taking my time. There was no rush. And
you also duplicated that feat at the Calvin Ghost Arcade.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show some footage from that MAME. That didn't work. Oh, I got to share the screen. There we go. I'm going to have this in the background playing while we talk because this is your MAME run. I kind of jumped it way ahead because, who wants to see the early levels? We want to see the hard levels where you're just pretty much dominating dominating. I can't even talk. Dominating this arcade game. How did you get so good at Joust?
I just picked it up very quickly. It took me 3 months to go from my first 200,000 to my first 10 million.
Wow. I played the Atari 8-bit version of this. I seem to have better luck with it than the actual arcade hardware. I think a lot of it has to do with that. Oh, that's an interesting glitch. Are they? See, I see they're not leaving their pedestals right away. They're taking their time. Is that normal?
Yes, that's normal.
Okay. Yeah, the biggest difficulty with this game is dealing with that pterodactyl, which briefly went across the screen. How good are you at taking it out?
There's actually a really cool one at around 29.2 million, which is on the part 5.
And now there's like,
29.2.
see, you're just standing there and they're just coming up and they just kill themselves. I wish I knew that. Is it that easy?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, Shadow Lord only full speed Shadow Lords are a lot easier. As crazy as it sounds.
Maybe I'm gonna have to get on this game again or something. Have you played Joust 2, the sequel?
I have actually, but I'm not very good at it.
Is it that much different? Apart from dealing with being able to change from an ostrich to a Pegasus.
Might be to do with the. You'll notice I'm at the bottom of the screen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I only go to the top when I have to.
Is it safer up top on the bottom?
Yes.
Okay. Because one of these stages, all the platforms except for this one and this one are gone.
Yeah.
Actually encountered that early in the game. But you also have the rest of these things just kind of dive bomb you, right?
They go then if they're above you, they're not all that aggressive. It's when you're above them that they get annoyed.
Okay, so they're actually they've upped their defense level if you're below them. Okay.
So
now this isn't the only game you're good at. I looked at your YouTube channel. There's several other classic games that you put up pretty high numbers on. Tell me about some of those.
Yeah, the second game I clocked the score on was Tapper.
Yes.
I now have an official score of a little over 3 million.
Yeah, the world record I think is like close to 25.
14.7 or something like that. It should.
I did watch it live though. That's the thing. It was down in Texas.
Yeah. Well,
the only thing that ended his run was the controller decided to, or at least the tap, stopped registering or got stuck. Somebody tried to do a quick fix and they actually scored a point, and then they had to stop the run because somebody else in the run scored a point, so they had to stop. But it was still good enough to wipe the world record.
Yeah.
What other games? I've seen some runs on Defender and Black Widow. Any others?
I've won CC Paperboy as well. I also have the House High at the Ghost on Paperboy as well as Joust.
New Zealand Story, that's another one.
Yeah, I was hoping to take down the house high at the Joust, but unfortunately it wasn't on the floor. And
they should have brought it out because they should have brought it out, or at least found a way to bring it out. It is on the floor now, I believe.
Yeah. My first visit over, I had 1 day on it. And I got a score of a little under 1 million, but because it wasn't a 1cc, I got killed off on the last level. It didn't count, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where's some of the other games you're playing currently, if any?
I'm primarily working on Defender. I've once broken 1 million.
That's a hard game, mainly because of so many daggum buttons. And I'm going to have to let an unhappy person in here a second because he's not going to shut up. He's just standing outside. Get up here, turkey. He's standing outside the door, whining and crying. This little furball.
Oh.
Gosh. I'm going to hide this for a second. This little furball who wants all the attention in the world. If he starts biting me, he's going to be thrown out of the room again. I have to shut the windows because, yeah, it's warm today. They want outside. This one cannot go out. The other one wants to go outside, but I have to kind of be outside with her because they're both declawed. I don't want them getting lost. They've primarily been indoor cats. But they can go out, but just supervised, so they don't get lost. Or we've had hawks in the neighborhood. We've had the occasional bald eagle show up, and we have a coyote that roams the neighborhood and has been seen a lot lately. And it is wily, of course. But it's not done business with acne, thankfully. So what was go back to the early days. What was the first video game you ever played? And was that the one that hooked you into playing video games?
Well, it was originally my dad's BBC microcomputer. I'm showing my age there.
My first system was the Atari 2600. So,
although I did not last year, the year before, I did actually get asked for ID. When I walked into an arcade bar your side of the pond in Chicago, and are you old enough to come in here? I was like, oh, thank you. I'm older than your tapper machine, mate, because he had a tapper in his bar area.
So they thought you were a youngster.
Yeah.
Every time somebody asks if I'm old enough to consume alcohol, I make the person guess what my age is. I have the ID ready, but I tell them, I want you to guess my age and see how close they get. They usually underguess. So the first game you played was?
I was on the BBC Micro. The two main games I remember playing quite a bit was Snapper, which is like a knockoff version of Pac-Man, and
okay.
I remember playing Hunchback as well.
Okay. What's the first arcade game you ever played?
Oof. Arcade?
Yes, because there was the first time you went into the arcade and then you started playing quite a bit.
Yeah, it's Well, proper hardware and all that?
Yeah, just an arcade machine, physical arcade machine.
Well, it would have been at a Play Expo, trying out random games. Then, well, it was a bit busy, and you couldn't get on very much. So I found a small event, which I was hoping, that maybe that'll be quieter. It was limited to 20 people per session.
Okay. Yeah, what was that? You said you found a small event.
Yeah, it was dedicated to Ready Player One when the movie came out.
Oh. How many years ago was that? That wasn't too long ago, was it?
2018.
2018. So you started playing. So your first system, what year was that? Or first
it was
video game?
My first actual video game.
Yeah, the BBC Micro computer. When was that? What year do you think?
I'd have been about 5 or something like that. So probably 87, 88, something like that.
Okay. So when I played Atari 2600, that was 1980. Well, that's when I got it. Space Invaders was my first game, so that was 78, 79. Was released in 78. I don't know if I played in 78 or wait, but it was a bowling alley, which no longer stands in Jacksonville, Illinois, unfortunately. But so from there, the BBC Micro, you played your first arcade game somewhere.
It was at a Play Expo. I first got into gaming on arcades, proper machines.
Mm-hmm.
Then I found the Ready Player One event. Oh, they got real arcade machines. I'll go check it out. So they had half a dozen machines there. One of which was actually Joust. And that was the first time I'd come across it. And I got to wave 7 by the end of the session. And
was that the game that hooked you? Really hooked you?
Yeah, it's like then November. You got forward to November 2018. I discovered Arcade Club. Under the likes of a retro game shop called Saw Thumb Retro Games.
So the UK, United Kingdom gaming scene, how different is it from the American gaming scene since you have been over here?
Well, over at Arcade Club, they're not really all that hardcore about scores and stuff, unfortunately. They don't have arcade or anything like that. And
so if I suggested maybe getting in Arcade Club on, let's say, let me see if I got them in on this. Would Arcade Club participate in Arcade Wars?
We did at one point participate, and we won. it was on Wonder Boy. And due to my friend Charlie Farr, also known as David Lynn, and I did actually mention him in. I'm not sure if you've seen the book, the 50 Greatest Arcade Games.
Probably haven't. It doesn't sound familiar. I know I know the Charlie Farr channel. I don't remember that one. I probably hadn't seen the 50 Greatest Arcade Game Countdown. No.
It's it's a book that I was sharing the Kickstarter for.
Okay.
And they actually interviewed me in that. And I mentioned about Charlie Farr. He got like a score of like 2 million on Wonder Boy. So yeah, pretty crazy score, really.
I know they had Wonder Boy as a T20 game, which was kind of an ingenious way of trying to get participation in the arcade wars, which I don't know if that worked. Well, apparently it didn't work if UK Club won that month. Although there's enough players there that they should have gotten the scores in. Now I'm showing this. This is the game of the month, Puzzle Bobble, also known as Bust-A-Move. Galvin Ghost has not put a score in yet. And the reason why they haven't is the monitor doesn't work in the Neo Geo that it's in. So they're going to have to move the cart to another Neo Geo machine, which they got plenty of them. Maybe they can remove Double Dragon 5 and stick it in there temporarily, because that's what they did for me one time when I was chasing some sort of score. I don't know on which game. But they're going to have to move the cart to another machine. So Galvin Ghost can get in on this, because right now, One Up Arcade in Australia is pretty much running away with it right now. I'm okay at this game, but not great.
Arcade Club has that game. They've only got one Neo Geo cab.
How good are the players at this one?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Are you any good at it?
No.
Have you played it?
Not much, to be fair.
Not much? Okay. All right. Now, there's another thing. There's another major difference between Europe and America on gaming. We have NTSC video with our video games. You have PAL.
Yeah.
How in the world, as a know nothing American on this aspect of technology? Obviously, I'm going to resume this video here, because look, you're over 1 million. So know nothing on this type of technology. Why are televisions in Europe different from America with the scan lines and stuff?
I think it's to do with 50 hertz versus 60 hertz frequency or something like that.
So it's basically the screen refresh is a little different.
I don't know the full technical stuff, but I think it's to do with 60 hertz NTSC, 50 hertz for PAL.
And I know for a fact that if you put a PAL cartridge in an NTSF or an NTSC console, the screen will roll, which isn't good if you're wanting to play, I don't know, a European exclusive game.
Hey, hype man.
JP Pitts has joined us on the stream. Welcome in.
I just saw him in the chat there.
Yeah. Anyway, PAL versus NTS. Yeah, I don't see too many PAL games show up. Certainly, you might have a better chance of getting one at a convention, but if you're going to play it, you have to get a converter of some sort.
Depending what system it is, stuff like PlayStation 2, there's stuff like Swap Magic Slide Tool as an alternative to getting it chipped.
I also noticed that there may be I've seen some graphical and gameplay differences with NTSC versus PAL. I think some games never came out in NTSC format, certainly with prototypes, because they're still looking for Atari prototypes, and that was the only way they could find that there's just a PAL version. There wasn't an NTSC version. Well, here's another question for you. What are some of the games you guys in Europe got that America didn't get?
Oof. I'm not sure actually.
Asterix is one franchise that is relatively uncommon in America. Europe got it like crazy, but because it came from there. I think some of those games didn't even get released in America. They just had to import them, I guess.
Which one was that?
Asterix?
Which one?
Asterix. Are you familiar with that one?
I know asteroids, but
Okay, stand by. I'm gonna pull this up because I want to see if you recognize it. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up the arcade game because I don't know if I can show the cartoon. Here we go. Let's pull this up here. This is Asterix. This was by Konami, the arcade game. Does this look familiar?
I've not seen that one.
Not seen this or the cartoon series?
I can't recall playing that one.
But not the cartoon, because that
No.
did it is an anime cartoon and comic that this game is based on.
I can't recall seeing the cartoon either.
Okay, fair enough. This Goblin Ghost does have this game. It is a beat 'em up. Vintage Vault Arcade also has this. That's another thing I need to cover on the backside because I did pay them a visit, which I was quite on the way home. Well, on the way up and on the way back. There's another difference between Europe versus America. The Sega Master System was more popular than the Nintendo Entertainment System. Did you own a Sega Master System, or did you own an NES, or did you own something else?
I owned. I went from the BBC Micro, and then I got a Mega Drive, which is the UK version of the Genesis.
What was your favorite games on the Genesis?
Oof. I liked the Sonic games.
Okay.
I was insanely good at them at one point.
That's another question. Well, let's just move on to this. You are a world traveler. We know this because you've been to the Galvin Ghost Arcade. You went down to Free Play in Texas.
Yes, that's correct. I went there for the 40th anniversary of Joust event. I picked July over August because I was taking a punt on the possibility of something there being an event on, because I read somewhere for the 30th anniversary back in 2012, there was something in the old Williams building in Chicago. So it's like, I'll take a punt. I'll come and work it around that anniversary and see what happens.
So where have all you been? Being a world traveler, where are some of the places you've gone to game?
The main outside the UK, it's only over your side of the pond that I've been, but I have been looking at another arcade in mainland Europe, in the outskirts. It's in the outskirts of Prague in the Czech Republic, called Arcade Hry.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that one. I found that arcade online and did a documentation of its lineup. And believe it or not, Hobby Lobby is selling a photo or one of the wall decor of one of their aisles. It's reversed, and they have the logos the game marquees covered up for some reason. I guess it's due to, I don't know, licensing. But if there's an arcade in Europe to go to, that's one of them, I think, if you want the classics.
Yeah, that's what I've been looking into, but I've got a bad feeling I'll have to face up to one of my absolute fears.
But what is that?
I suspect it will be necessary to hire a car, in which case I'll have to drive on the wrong side of the road.
Wrong side of the road. Yeah. Okay, so that's another difference. Or at least I know for Germany, they drive on the left side of the road. The driver is on the right side of the car. Versus driving in America, where the driver's on the left side of the car and they're in the right lane. So we're closest to the center line. United Kingdom is still drives on the right side of the road, correct? It's just everybody else.
We drive on the left.
Drive on the left. Okay.
Yeah. So to a Brit, Americans drive on the wrong side of the road.
Now, here's another goofy question. It's like, how did they determine which side of the road? Why is Europe drive on the left side versus the right side?
Well, I think the rest of mainland Europe all drive on the right.
But the question is, why the left? That's what I'm wondering.
I don't know.
Don't know.
I'm not sure myself.
If anybody out there in the chat knows, please let me know. I'm curious. Because
you got me curious now.
I mean, I've given you a ride in my car. Did you feel safe? When I was driving on the right side. Okay.
Yeah, I did. I did hitch a lift back to the hotel when I was over in Arlington from another member of the group.
Although, doggone, I don't feel safe driving around the downtown Chicago because how slow it is, how much traffic there is. I kind of like the rural interstate where there's not heavy traffic, light traffic. But although there is some traffic obstacles I really hate. The so-called diverging diamond. I know people complain about roundabouts, but I think the diverging diamond's worse. And this is the one time when you drive on the left side of the road if you're an American. And it's not interstate.
Roundabouts.
What? Well, you know that one scene. I don't know if you National Lampoon's European Vacation. The Griswolds got stuck on a roundabout in the wrong lane, and then they were, I guess, circling around for hours because they couldn't. Nobody would let them get out of the daggum loop. Well, next question. So you traveled the world, traveled America, Dallas, Chicago, anywhere else?
I've been to Arcade Club Leeds, Arcade Club Blackpool. I've been to other arcades and four quarters in London. An arcade bar in Cheltenham called Smoky Joe's.
Okay.
And I also went to Arcade Hub in Hull as well.
Gosh, I froze up for some reason. What's your favorites? What are your favorite games currently? I did take down notes, but I didn't. It seems like I'm wasting too much time trying to write up a script, so I decided to wing it a lot more today.
And well, one of my video game goals is to be able to play Defender until I say it's time to stop. Consistently.
How long of a run do you think, or was your, I guess, scoring goal on Defender?
Well, I did get a video of an 885,000, and that was a little over an hour.
Actually, I think I can pull that one up. Second. And I did not get it. Oh, I'm still on this over here. I think I can find. Here we go. I'm gonna jump it. Yeah, this is one of your Defender runs. How far is this in? Oh, it looks like it's good distance in, at least. Do you know what the world record is for Defender? Because I know there's kind of the early days, somebody who went almost 24 hours on it.
Well, according to Twin Galaxies, it's about 80 million or something silly like that. Which,
80.
Yeah, which at a pace of 1 million an hour, do the maths.
I don't. So you've done these marathons. How do you? And I do recall you are a very strong person. I've called you strong as an ox, and that I'm not kidding. You are. You're as strong as an ox. How do you endure a long run in front of a machine? I don't know if you stand up, sit down, or do both.
I do sit down. I do have a chair. Although I did once do an entire 10 million point Joust run, which takes about. It was a bit over 5 hours. Stood up the entire time. But there was only one reason I succeeded on that day. And that was my friend Charlie Farr turning up and peer pressure from him.
But how do you... I guess the question is, because I think the longest single play session on a game was 3 hours for me. How do you do it for double digits?
I'm used to staring at screens for long hours with minimal breaks. I'm just so used to it. It don't bother me. Plus, I've got blue light glasses, which stops the headaches and stuff.
Polyurethane, is that what that is? Polyurethane, because polycarbon, that's what it is. Is it polycarbon glasses, or do you plastic?
I'm not sure what they're made of, other than the glasses.
Polycarbon is a different type of versus plastic. Polycarbons I've had to avoid because everything has a bluish. There's like a blue glow on the edge of everything with polycarbons, so I can't wear those. You said that's blue blockers.
Yeah, blue light filter to block the blue lights from the screens and stops the headaches.
Okay. All right. But endure physically after a 10-hour run, you're not, like, say, dead tired or wanting to collapse or nothing, right?
I did my 30.3 house high at the Joust. That was 15 hours, and I was straight after that I was walking the mile back to the hotel at about 3 a.m, and then I was about a third of the way there, and then Waffle spotted me in his car and gave me a lift.
Thank goodness. You weren't ready to collapse, right?
No, I was fine. If I was ready to collapse, I'd have got an Uber, to be fair. I did actually do 20 hours at a charity event with only very quick bathroom breaks. Other than that, non-stop.
That's another thing. You're at that machine for so many hours. You can have, like, I don't know, a water bottle or a drink with you, but you can't leave the machine, because if you leave the machine, the enemies can just take out your, I guess, army one at a time every few seconds.
You lose about 3 or 4 lives per minute, so it's like it's a matter of quickly run to the bathroom and run back, if you know what I mean.
Right. I don't know if I want to even suggest this, but I just wonder if some gamers have a bucket handy. But I don't think
it wouldn't surprise me if some gamers did that, but no, I'm not that hardcore.
Plus, they need to do it in the privacy of their own home. I wouldn't imagine doing it in a public place. Well, you said the game's focused on currently. You said Defender. That's your primary focus currently.
Also, you probably noticed on my YouTube channel recently, there's been quite a few Black Widow videos.
Yes, that's another game. Pull that one up. Well, oh, I gotta go deep. There we go.
That one was actually only done yesterday.
Oh, really? Dang.
Yes.
That's your best?
No,
so far?
It's not my best. It's my second best score. I got a 589,000 as well, which was done last year.
So last year, yes, you were in the States. Besides doing the 40th anniversary of Joust celebration in, I guess, Free Play Dallas.
Free Play Arlington.
Free Play. Well, it is the Dallas Fort Worth area. I can say I've been there one time. That was 2019. I tried to go meet Thor Ackerland and then meet a lady, but things didn't quite work out. Took a train ride all the way to Dallas. I'd never been there. Almost got stranded because I didn't have really good GPS, and I was trying to make my way from the Frisco National Video Game Museum and get back to the train station in time to get the train. And it was slow going, and then wasn't quite sure which turns to make. And then I started to panic, and I started like in a meltdown in the vehicle because I was like, am I going to miss the train? Oh, crap. Oh, crap. I found where I needed to drop the rental car off. Then I had to get to the platform to get on the train, and I got to the platform as the train was coming into the station, but doggone, I was dead tired. I assume you didn't have that experience.
I took a flight.
I don't fly. I have flown in a plane, but I fear flying, and I don't think I'll fly another plane in my lifetime. At least I don't think so. Unless something really convinces me to get on an airplane, but
How about come to Arcade Club? Is that enough to convince you?
An international flight, and that's another animal entirely, considering how the world is now versus when I flew on a plane last, which is back in the 90s. I had to fly to Disney World to win my Campus Challenge title. I did fly a few times to visit family. But after that, no. I don't want to fly. I don't want to fly ever again. I think the only place I could be convinced to fly to would be Japan, because all the gaming stuff and technology comes out there. Would you ever go to Japan?
I've never been there.
It's just America and United Kingdom. Have you been to France? I mean, that's just a drive through the tunnel. Or Ireland.
I have been to France, but not to play video games. It was quite a few years ago. Would have been with parents, probably to Euro Disney or something.
I keep seeing that photo pop up of I guess a deteriorated giant Mickey head at some place in Europe. Does Euro Disney still exist?
Disneyland Paris.
Disneyland Paris. Okay. You did T20 last year.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts of the tournament? Because it was like they pulled out 20 new games.
They were quite good games, and it's like with the baseball game, good luck beating my -82.
All right, you gotta tell that story. You played a full game. You didn't throw it. You just decided to just take that score where the computer beat you by not 90 some odd runs or 82 runs.
Yeah.
What made you, why? I guess curious is why did you, let's say, not start over, I guess, and put that score in?
I'm fessing up here. I had no idea what I was doing. And Waffles actually asked me to. I got it. I think it was another referee who had shown it to on my phone.
Mm.
And Waffles actually asked to have another look at it because it was just so bad. It was actually impressive.
So you have the top score in Joust and the worst score in pair-up baseball, which is a prototype.
Yeah.
I think that score will stand unless somebody really wants to, I guess, set the record for mediocrity or something. I don't.
To be fair, I had no idea what I was doing. It's like I don't know much about baseball, really.
Now, they don't have baseball in Europe. They don't play it in Europe. I mean, well, United Kingdom. Everybody plays soccer, which they call it football, but it's not American football. It's European football, I guess.
Yeah, it's like your American football is like rugby.
But you also have rugby.
Yeah, it just we have rugby as well. It's American football just looks like rugby. There probably is a difference, but it just looks the same to me.
I think I caught a glimpse of a rugby game on somebody's screen. I don't know where I saw it, but I think I was out somewhere when I saw this, but I almost thought, am I watching Australian rules football? But then it's like they finally like put up a graphic and this is rugby, which like, oh, this is rugby. Does anybody play baseball in United Kingdom?
Not as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
Which is why I had no idea what I was doing.
Are you at sports games are my weakness. Do you like any are there any sports video games you're good at or you like?
I'm not really all that great at them, but I'll try anything, mate. You know, there's various sports games like the hyper sports at the T20. I'm like we've got that at Arcade Club,
which is the sequel to Track and Field.
Yeah, I can't bash fast enough.
Yeah, I can't either. I do better on the NES version than the arcade. Although Jimbo Slice kind of gave me some pointers when that was the arcade game of the month. It helped me get past a stage. Do you think he'll be back for T20 this year, or?
I've not got anything booked so far. It might end up being next year now. Unfortunately, I had to delay it due to getting a mortgage sorted on my house, and I needed to see. I wanted to see the figures afterwards before I booked anything, and it took quite a bit longer than expected to. So it's sorted now. It's like only just, in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I know. I know somebody who can relate to what you're trying that situation because we had him on a few weeks ago. You also did Blade Wars.
Yeah, despite being terrible at fighting games, it's like, what the heck? Why not?
What was the one you were in? Because was it MK4 or was it?
I think it was MK4, and although I have actually, I have actually 1cc'd a Street Fighter style game, Final Fight Revenge.
Which was the T20 game?
It was actually my first Monday Mystery game.
Oh, okay.
They dragged me up first for it, and well, later in the evening, I somehow managed to 1cc it. Don't ask me how. I don't know.
I've played it. I've played it. The only time I have, I mean, I can't pull the moves off and stuff because I'm not good at pulling off the specials, but I can get all the way to the final boss without much difficulty. But the final boss is the most difficult. It's where the difficulty seems to kick in. I don't know why. I've given it a few tries, but I haven't tried again to try to 1cc it.
Somehow I managed to beat the final boss. Don't ask me how. I really don't know. I'm a button basher. I have no skill with Street Fighter games.
You know, the quarter circle moves, which is, well, here's the thing. I pick one fighter and I learn it and pretty much stick with it with a fighting game tournament all the way, because that's really the only way to go. I can't really go learning every fighter on short notice. I don't know. The next game up is Super Dragon Ball Z is the next fighting game for Blade Wars in June. You also did an appearance on King's Crimeycade.
Yes, I did.
What are your thoughts? Because you went up against Jose.
Yeah, it was good. It was good fun. Yeah, it was good fun to do. You know, King's a great guy, and same with Jose.
He did announce that he's gotten a panel with Crimeycade, so he's gonna be, I guess, doing the conventions, and looks like this Black Widow run has ended. Yeah. 65 waves. I didn't even have it on the screen. I thought I had it on the screen. I had it on my other screen, but 65 waves.
I have a recent score recorded on CineStar as well, a bit over 200,000.
Let me see if I can find that one.
As well, I've been playing quite a bit. I've been getting into that recently as well. And although sometimes I do curse.
I'm not finding it.
It's what it'll be one of the recent ones.
Let me hide this a second. While I'm looking for that, so you're one of the. I do want to point out here it is. Doggone it! Why didn't I see it earlier? Here we go. While we're watching this a little bit, this game is bloody hard. Yeah, this was a Pinball Expo. It's one of the games on one of the Pinball Expo tournaments, which I did not win. Seems I had to get all my points from the first stage because the second stage difficulty kicked up so high that I kept getting shot down, not eaten, but shot down. But the point I was going to ask, at least in the score chasing community, I know there's tons of stream. I know there's a lot of women who stream, but not very many women chasing scores in the arcade scene. You're one of the few. Why do you think that is? Or is it just I won't speculate, but I'll just let you give your opinion.
I think it's just well, there's such a shortage of us. That's the problem.
Is there really a shortage?
Well, and you need to make that breakthrough as well to actually get good at the games, if you know what I mean.
Well, I know there's a lot of entry points because while there's all these world records on the high profile titles like Joust and Defender and this game, there are a lot of games that didn't get the attention or haven't got the attention. I know I've been battling Andrew Owasco over the JJ Squawkers score lately, and he took it again. I don't know how. I guess he got lucky with the end of level bonuses. So yeah, I'm gonna play it again. But there's a lot of obscure games that just really didn't get the attention where the world records aren't very high, and that's a great entry point.
Mm.
Although you went for the high profile. You went for the high profile titles first. Is there any obscure games that you have interest in?
It's I'm trying to think.
Because Doc is finding the really rare and obscure.
I have played a bootleg version, kind of like a Defender bootleg. That Williams kicked up a fuss that it looked too much like Defender, but it's there's clearly a difference. It's called Mayday.
I'm gonna pull that one up.
It's a cross between Defender and Vanguard.
Let's see if I can find that one. Oh, this one. Yeah.
You can see the resemblance.
Yeah.
With Defender.
Although.
And you shoot backwards as well as forwards, which is and you and if you crash into the wall, you lose a life.
So although I wonder if this was based on the Defender hardware or if they made their own, because I know several of these so-called bootlegs are kind of hacks. I don't know if they hacked Defender to make this game or
you can. There's actually an enemy that comes that.
I see Mayday flashing on top, so.
Yeah, they've clicked the Mayday, which is it slows the game down and creates that flashing effect.
If you have epilepsy, that's probably not the game you should be playing.
Well, exactly.
Although I don't know exactly how a flashing light triggers an epileptic episode, but I'm not a scientist and I'm not a doctor, so. We complete a mission here. Well, now it looks like everything's self-destruct. Okay, so this is an overworld level, it looks like. Oh, he's shooting in. Oh, those are submarines! Well, I hadn't watched this game before. Or I don't think I've. This is a weird one. I wonder if Mac would find this game. Oh, I see. It's Hody. I see.
I have a. If I play this on MAME, I have a very weird setup on my controls. But it kind of makes sense for a Defender player.
Is the control panel the same? Or is it different?
It's different. It's got like an 8-way stick, but the way and the front fire to the rear and a Mayday button. But the way I have it is I use my Defender control panel, have it up down, have the up down working as normal, forward using a thrust button, and fire and fire with the fire button,
and reverse and hyperspace in play or nay?
No. You can only go left to right.
Okay. It's like this is a empty space level here. Well, there's enough differences, but yeah, it is a ripoff of sorts.
Yeah, that's an obscure game that I have played. That's a bit of a bootleg. If I had to ask Doc for an obscure game,
Which I might as well ask the question: if you somehow something happened where, and maybe a path opens up, and you like, I don't know, or maybe immigrate to America as full time. If you immigrated to America, lived in, I guess, the state of Illinois or, well, the Midwest. If you were chosen to be Gamer of the Year, what game would it be? Would it be this one or something else? Because the winner of Gamer of the Year gets to pick their game for the arcade floor.
Possibly this, just on the, but there's players who are a lot better than me at the Ghost.
But if you were chosen to be Gamer of the Year, what game would you choose?
Oh, they've got pretty much everything at the Ghost, so I'd probably pick something like this.
Okay. Who are some of the gamers you admire most? I know you've met several because you've traveled the world practically.
Yeah, I met a player I really look up to at the anniversary event, Lonnie. Lonnie McDonald. At the 40th anniversary, it was his videos that I actually was watching to get good at the game in the first place.
Yeah, he made it a mission to travel all over the country to take, I guess, the house high, or at least put a certain score on every joust.
All nines.
Basically, roll the score.
And there were, at the event in Arlington, there were 4 upright machines, and on the Sunday was dedicated to like elite play. And he put an all nines on 2 of the machines, and I did the other 2. So
have you had? I know they have the Kong off. Basically, all the Donkey Kong masters get together and have a battle. How about a Joust off?
That was the main event on the. It was a deathmatch tournament at Free Play. I think it's on their YouTube channel. I actually managed to win the deathmatch tournament, and I also managed to beat the creator himself.
Creative Joust. Okay. Wow.
One player managed to win a round against me, and it was best of 3. five lives, and on difficulty 9, the max difficulty.
Now you could, and when you say death match, it's basically you are to attack the other player, not necessarily the enemies, although you still have to deal with them.
Yeah, you. It's the last person standing wins. So I had to try to switch off my usual defensive stance and play a lot more aggressively. And there were some insanely good players there, and I actually had to use my knowledge of Shadow Lord AI to my advantage, because against one tough player, I actually managed to let a Shadow Lord get loose, and I pretty much threw it at him.
I know one of the ways in Joust, if you attack the other player and take him out, you get a 3,000 point bonus. Besides the normal bonus of normal points for killing the other player.
That's the Gladiator wave.
Gladiator, okay. Any other gamers you admire?
Well, Donald Hayes, obviously. He's just insanely good at everything. And I take part in a competition called MGL. And it's on Twin Galaxies and Aussie Arcade. He's won the last 8. And every single game he's finished in the top 10, no matter what you throw at him.
All right.
He's just so good, it's insane.
Future goals.
Well, I want to. I've already mentioned about the defender, be able to play until I say it's time to stop consistently. Also, my other goal, as crazy as it sounds, I want to get eventually a 1cc kill screen on Black Widow.
Can you kill screen it?
Yes, it does have a kill screen. And I actually, there was previously the world record on the card at the Ghost. It said 6.8 million, and I called bull poo on that. And I told Doc that's bull poo.
Was that the Twin Galaxies record, or was that done at the Ghost itself?
It was it was a former Twin Galaxies record, but 6.8 million on Black Widow. It's like a 3.2 million on Donkey Kong or a 5 million on Pac-Man. It's just not physically possible. The kill screen's at level 104. And like my the score you just showed, the 557, that ended up at wave
65.
65. The kill screen's level 104. I've even got a theory on the cause of the kill screen, but I can't prove or disprove it though.
So what happens at when you reach the kill screen? What was the behavior of the game? Because I don't think I've ever seen it. I don't know if I can even. It freezes.
There's actually on YouTube somewhere. There's a I think it's the Xbox level 104 Black Widow kill screen somewhere. I think it's an Xbox version.
Here we go. Yeah, here. All right. Well, okay. So the wave counter rolls over at 100. It looks like.
Yeah.
My phone's ringing. I'm gonna ignore that. It's probably a telemarketer. I'm gonna close the door so I don't have to listen. I'll let the dagum. Okay, so it just stopped.
It just crashes. It crashes the game, either freezing up or restarts itself. I've even got a theory. I've got a theory about what causes it.
Yeah, I see these enemies roll into the screen. So he can't move, it looks like. Interesting.
He just chose to lose a life there.
Okay.
I've done grinds to the kill screen using continues. Well, the skill step, which is the equivalent of continues.
Okay. All right. I think we're close to the end of this. Now, one other thing. Trading cards. I think you should have one. Because of how good of a Joust player you are. I don't think there's...
I am the main record holder.
I don't think there's... I think that alone, I mean, the fact that you can roll 30 million on Joust, and I don't know if you've ever, let's say, done a run of Joust where you just like, I'm going to keep going until I lose and see if how many hours I can go. I don't know if you...
I did actually make an arrangement with Doc for that, because I did a 20-hour run at a charity event and I was still going strong. It was like, I was just curious. It was 2022 and I made an arrangement with Doc for as long as my body can hack it for, until the enemies take me down fair and square, or I beat the 107, whichever happens first.
What is your... I guess I should ask you, what is your personal best on Joust overall?
Well, the 20-hour marathon, it was a bit over 38 million.
38 million is your overall, your personal best. Okay.
Which was the 20-hour one at a charity event.
Okay. Well, I think I'm going to send this podcast to Todd Freeman. You know, I signed these cards for anybody. I've signed my card for anybody that wants one. I know last weekend I signed the celebrities that were there at Midwest Gaming Classic. The host of Nick Arcade, which Phil Moore, which I'm going to talk about more on the backside of this. He was there. He hosted the Mega Game Championship. He told me that he wants his own baseball card, which, you know, these trading cards, which everybody refers to these as baseball cards just because I think that was the first major trading card that or I guess baseball is the sport that everybody has trading cards for, or at least that's the most popular collectible of cards. He said he didn't have a baseball card or didn't have a trading card. I told him I could help him out with that or hook him up with somebody who can help him with that. Todd Freeman just happened to be standing very close by. I just looked one direction and oh, there he is. Come over here, Todd. So we ended up taking a free selfie because they were charging for selfies, and Todd just did a three-way with me, Phil Moore, and Freeman to do. So I guess they're gonna get Phil a trading card soon. But I think you should have one of these. I've brought this up before.
For my main record.
For your ability on Joust, pretty much. If you're not the best female player at Joust in the world, I don't know if any other female player at Joust can roll up tens of millions of points like you do. I think you should get a card. And you're accomplishing other feats as well. I mean, I think you're one of the best female retro arcade game players in the world. So yeah, why not?
Yeah, I was hoping to beat Jimbo's score on Black Widow, but the last year when I came, but his is 530 and
Let me see what it is.
530, I think it is.
Black Widow.
But the sticks weren't quite right. I only managed to get a 487.
530. So yeah, your runs at Arcade Club. Yeah, you have enough to pass him. So, I don't know if you come back to America, I guess New Zealand story, Black Widow, maybe. Well, I wonder what the Defender score is at GGA.
1.4 million.
Oops, I missed. 1.4 million. Well, I see. Okay. Edward Lee has the score. However, that's not the high score on arcade. It's 5 million by somebody named Eric Liddell.
5 million. Fun spot.
Yeah. Actually, it's Richie Knuckles arcade, which his original one. He's reopened an arcade in the last couple of years, but the original arcade he had in New Jersey, that's where that run happened. 2010. Wow. 2010. So that was 14 years ago.
Wow.
Time flies.
Yeah, so I'm hoping whenever I come next, it's likely, to be honest, it's likely to be next year now. And I don't like booking that sort of thing at too short notice, if you know what I mean.
I say no. Well, except for Midwest Gaming Classic, because I know I'm going back to it every year. I kind of book that at the turn of the calendar around New Year, Christmas, New Year's, because get a decent hotel room, get the VIG package.
Very important gamer, right?
Yes, very important gamer. I'll be back again next year.
Yeah.
But I want a decent hotel room close to the action so I can get across the skywalk and
for the first half of my trip last year, the Black Widow machine was off completely, and I had a chat with your tech guy, and he managed to get it working, and but the sticks still weren't quite right. So I didn't manage it. So if the sticks were perfect, there's a decent chance, because I'd already beaten it twice with a 545 and a 589.
Right.
And I've beaten it on 2 other occasions, 531 and that's that 557 yesterday.
557 yesterday, okay.
Yeah, the 557 that's just been up was uploaded last night.
Okay. Where's I gonna go? I had something else that I was gonna follow up with, and I lost it.
I did actually teach Andrew something as well last year.
Hungary, the country.
I did the I've got a way of doing the bird trick on Phoenix that works fairly consistently if you time it correctly.
I've been trying. Yeah, that's another thing. A 200,000 trick, which I pulled it off at home first, and then I tried to do it on the arcade machine over there, and I can't get it to go.
There's a way of doing it that's quite consistent, providing you time it correctly.
Yeah, it's just having the occasion when those two birds are like flying up at the same time and they're close together.
It does set up an easy way of setting it up and everything on the second board of the game, and I put the score up on Arcade, and Andrew pulled me over about it. Did you do the bird trick on that Phoenix score? And obviously I had to fess up to it because it didn't have a 0 at the end. Therefore, the only way of doing it is the bird trick.
Yeah, I want to do that too because
there's actually a video on my YouTube channel that does a demonstration of the bird trick.
Yeah, I have seen it. I tried to duplicate it. It's just setting it up, or at least getting the opportunity to get it. I'm gonna pull it up. If I can find it real quick.
You go to the left hand side of the screen straight away, and in mine I didn't go straight away in that demonstration video. There was a tiny delay, but it didn't make any difference in terms of the.
Looks like so you had to go. Yeah, you had to go through an entire. I'm gonna move this up. You apparently had to clear the first set of boards before you can even go after.
It's on mine. Here we go. It's actually on my channel and on the second board of the game.
Okay. I'm going to go. Boy, I'm not in the right place at all. And I'm in the wrong. Completely in the wrong place. Good. Gosh, got the wrong thing in my head. There we go. There it is. That's up there. This is 22 seconds. So this is. So yeah, I'm just kind of just waiting for both of them to come, or a couple of them to come down at the same time. So you pretty much have to move to the left. See, now I did this and I kind of thought, oh, I hit them at the same time and it didn't take. So I don't know.
So yeah, Andrew asked for a demonstration of the bird trick, so I gave him a demonstration of how it was done. And I was hoping to take down Jimbo's house high at the time, but I didn't manage it. And my last day at the Joust, I was having a chat with Andrew. Said, "Do me a favour, take that Phoenix score down for me."
I believe he did.
Yes, he did. A couple of weeks later.
That didn't get it. And of course, well, these three scores here were not Andrew's score. This is Andrew. I believe these are, Richie Knuckles. But this is Richie Knuckles. And of course, Richie Knuckles has the arcade record on Phoenix. The legendary Richie Knuckles, the star of, that documentary, where his daughter is famously yelling out, "Where are all the games?" which Richie was streaming one night. His Faith was in the background, I guess, on a tablet. I basically fired a question asking if she saw the saw her father's documentary with her as a young 5-year-old, what she thought of seeing herself saying that iconic phrase because she's now going to be always remembered for saying that. Where are all the games? Faith Knuckles. She thought she was cute. That was her response. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, I think it's called King of the Arcades. I can't remember the title. I'd have a copy of it. Richie Knuckles documentary. King of Arcades. Yep, I got it right. Yeah, this is there's no audio that you can hear. I can hear the audio, but it's not going out on the stream, unfortunately. Unless I plug the headsets. Here we go.
Because interacting with someone on screen is totally unheard of.
Yeah, if you haven't seen this, this is something to go after or take a look at.
When you first walk into an arcade,
Gosh, it's been that many years ago. Dang me.
Come at you. It's a glorious noise that pulls you in. When you come to looking up with arcade, it's arcade. You went into the time for it.
Gosh, this is 10 years ago.
Back in 1982, when the games are brand new.
Can't believe it.
It gives you that feeling. Richie's job is very significant to resurrect these games from the potential trash bin of history and give them more life so that they can go on in the future. Richie likes to repair games, he likes to fix games, he likes to...
Yeah, I wish I could fix games.
It's fresh. That was like it came out of Star in 1981.
The late Joel West.
What's important about this? It's part of our American pop culture, part of our history, part of what we enjoyed as kids. This is the first stage of a billion-dollar industry, and we were there. We were the first gamers. I was shocked how many of my favorite games.
How are we into this?
Whoa, you're here. Whoa, you're here. Like
and this is a 5-minute trailer.
You know, I was anxious to get to playing them, by the way, especially.
I don't think I've watched all the extras on this.
To break a world record, it's such an incredible rush. It's like somebody could hand me $1 million and I'd say, give me that. Give me my score. Everybody has their game. When they walk in and they see their game in its glory, find it, they walk up to it and it's like, Richie Knuckles today brings to the classic arcade scene.
Oh my gosh.
Brought back in the early 80s. An energy, an excitement, a passion. We have to officially name Richie Knuckles Arcade, the king of arcades.
Billy Mitchell, you've met him.
Yeah, I met him at NERG. Is that what is the picture with Billy Mitchell where you took my?
Let me mute this a second. There we go. Go ahead.
When you took me picture for your podcast, was it from the Billy Mitchell picture?
Yeah. Oh, here's that moment.
I recognise the wristbands from the NERG event, which was that how
was Faith, by the way.
May not be the decision we wanted.
I heard Faith. She said the word, said the phrase.
Exactly what I want to do. I know what it should be. I get sick to my stomach when I think about it. Let's not talk about it. Today's the final day of the arcade. Just take a little time to regroup, figure out what's next. Nothing should ever stop you. Every obstacle is an opportunity. This guy, he's gotten the highest score these games. You guys need to get the highest score in life. I like it. I'm glad we're getting this on film. If we're going to make this work, we're going to have
I'm going to have to watch this again.
From everybody here. And
I don't think I've actually watched it. I should do, I know.
I want you to appreciate that this is not an average situation.
I met Walt today at the NERG event as well.
Yes.
in the world.
Well, this documentary is out now because it's been out for 10 years. Gosh, it's been that long, and now it's like I did buy. I know I have a copy. I bought it. But I can't believe it's been 10 years since that came out. And about 2 months from now, actually, we're in April. Next month, Ghost Lord: The Quest for Dark Presence is supposed to release. Or at least I'm supposed to get a copy, or at least I'm supposed to get the rough draft of it to watch and then give feedback on.
I think it's going to be Game 1000. Dark Presence for Game 1000, I think.
I'm saying, gotta get the headset back, plug in. The problem is the Game 1000, we'd have to wait till, so if it's going to be Game 1000, it's going to be, we're not going to be hands-on with it. Well, it's not going to go on the arcade floor until August 13th, 2024, which is anniversary day. Canton's got to open. That is not opened yet because right now the trajectory, counting the number of games, I should see where they're at because they are at how many games do they have on the floor currently? Because it's 9. Did they get to 980 yet? Did they put the last game on the list? I guess they did. I think they're caught up. So they're at 979. So game 8 or 980 is tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central Daylight Time. It's 11 p.m. Greenwich time. You'll be tuned in as always to see what they put on the floor.
I'll be tuned in. I'm a bit of a night owl, me. Oh, and Strider, to answer your question, it's likely to be next year now.
So I just happened to notice, Strider, that's Norbert Vale, just popped into the chat. Oh, he's still here, I think. Do you have any plans to come? Well, I did cover this, but you can answer that one again.
It's likely to be next year because I had to see the figures after sorting out stuff for my house with like a mortgage, and it's like there's not. I like to get it plenty in advance, then I get a decent seat on the plane and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and it's like a 7.5 hour flight, so I don't want to be stuck in the middle somewhere. And
yeah, I got a fear of heights too. Well, I have to be out in the open air.
It's likely to be next year now, to answer your question.
Yeah, 2025.
And hopefully I'll be capable of taking down even more scores next year. And you never. I've only got 2 house highs. No house high is safe, as Doc says. So you never know. Someone might have already taken them both.
You still have the Joust high, and you still have the Paperboy house high. I don't think anybody has really challenged you on either one. But who knows? Some random player whose name I didn't see come up. Somebody new came into Calvin Ghost and took the house high for Silkworm, which will be covered tomorrow. And this guy's name I never even heard of, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but we'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like if anyone does ever take down my Joust score, full credit to them. They deserve it. It took me 15 hours to put it up. It'll take them at least 15 hours to take it down, if not longer.
Yeah, they're going to be spending the entire day doing that. if they try.
I did actually make an arrangement with Doc for in 2022, as long as my body can hack it for until the game takes me down fairly. But unfortunately, it was cut short due to some unforeseen circumstances, putting it politely. And
Weather or power related, one or the other.
it was the other one, the other reason.
All right. And somebody else has been making waves lately. Claudio
Yeah.
Capello, who is from my neck of the woods and backed a short distance away from where I live in nearby Chatham. I hope to get him on the show at some point. Yeah, he took some scores, and that will be mentioned tomorrow as well. Well, I think we're at the end of this. Is there anything else? Oh, here we go. See, and I kind of was playing with getting Aiden and Damien together, but I ended up just going one at a time because. But I'll ask you a question. Who do you think I should have on the podcast next?
Oof. I don't know.
Can be anybody. If I have that person on the show already, I can tell you.
Have you got the Don?
The Don.
Yeah, Donald Hayes.
I don't know him. I don't think I've met him. You'd have to send me contact information. Where's he from?
He's from the US. It's just when you said name someone, it's like who's not been on the show.
I pulled his name up. Yeah, I don't know. He's okay. His fun spot is his usual haunt. But yeah, he has not. He's been to Galvin Ghost, but he has not been to Galvin Ghost for quite some time. So I'll take it under advisement. I mean, I am so far going through all the list of gamers that I know personally in some way, shape, or form. You are one of them because it's been a long time.
I was one of the gamers on your list. Who else from the Go? Have you had Andrew on?
No, I have not. He's on Facebook, but he doesn't respond. The next time I'm up at Galvin Ghost and he's there, I'm going to ask him because I think.
Okay, I nominate Andrew then.
I think I should have him on the podcast because I think the rivalry has rebrewed a bit. I know it was a knockdown, drag-out fight during my chase for the Gamer of the Year title. This thing, Andrew wants a third one of these. I kind of thought he would have had it I thought he had this lockdown as the first repeat Gamer of the Year, but ended up going to Joust, who won every T20 except one.
I actually told Andrew back in 2022 that he was going to win Gamer of the Year. He didn't believe me.
Saying now 2022, which was
that was when he won Gamer of the Year for the second time.
Now I thought he was going to win that year. I truly did.
He did win the 2022, and it was Joust who won last year. I told Andrew he was going to win Gamer of the Year. I'd called it already, and last year, to be fair, I had no idea who was going to win, and I know Andrew had got all the scores and everything. It's just, but it's like 2 years in a row. I can't see it happening.
To be quite honest, Doc Mack would like to give it to somebody who's never held the championship.
Yeah.
I kind of thought Joust should have got it in 2019 because he besides winning T20 almost every year, that was the one year where there were 2 T20 tournaments within one calendar year. They were 10 months apart. T20 used to be in October. They moved it up to August right before anniversary. So he won T20 in October 2018 and then won it again in August of 2019. And I thought there wasn't a clear frontrunner for Gamer of the Year. I thought you should have got that year and Andrew get it a year later because Andrew hadn't broken into the top 10 and he was fairly new on the scene. And I didn't. He kind of was under the radar, I think, for most people. I think a lot of people were surprised that he was chosen as Gamer of the Year for 2019 because I don't think a lot of people knew about him yet. Certainly I didn't.
Yeah, Andrew's just an insanely good player, respect to him.
And truth be told, he is... Last year there wasn't... I thought he was the clear front runner, and he's always going to be a front runner. Doesn't matter.
Like two years in a row, I just couldn't see it happening, but I didn't know who else. But other than that, it was wide open. I had no idea.
And we're in the same situation again. Doc, actually, I do put out odds of who's going to be the Gamer of the Year. I'm going to have an entry for no one.
So do you like to take bets and stuff if you have odds?
There's a possibility that Doc Mack may not award Gamer of the Year.
Wow,
he was threatening to do that last year, and I actually wrote a letter to him, gave it to him just at the conclusion of T20, laying down my argument that someone did earn Gamer of the Year, and I explained why I thought this person earned it or that person earned it. Andrew did things last year that had not been achieved, and that I thought would have put him, that would have made, there was a strong argument that he should have won Gamer of the Year. I didn't think Zeus was going to get it because he's only kind of come to the Ghost around T20 time, and that's about it. But they gave it to him, so and that was kind of overdue. But this year,
maybe King could be a rank outsider because Doc said it's not necessarily all about scores. No,
it definitely is not, which is why I'm trying to kind of cover other bases. I mean, I cover all bases.
Like King with the community side and Crimeycade and stuff.
And this podcast is covering that community side.
Yeah. Yes, possibly you could be one of the front runners to win this year.
I have. Well, here's the thing. Me winning this belt again, and I'm going to see if I can throw this back up here. Throw this back up here because me winning Gamer of the Year is it's going to be contingent on me winning the C2E2 title. If I win this belt, then then my chances are I'm pretty much locked in as one of the contenders, one of the 2 or 3 contenders for the Gamer of the Year title, or at least a repeat. If I don't win this belt, it's going to be hard. I certainly have been knocked down pretty far in the rankings because I'm seeing a number. Actually, I can pull that up right now.
You know what to do about that, right?
That's another problem. It's
take the
my work. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm sitting at number 13. Well, one of the scores I took back is Riot. They have not. It's been sitting out there for over a month. They don't want to. I don't know why they won't accept the score. And they gave me the ground rules to get it. And it's like I followed that, but they're sitting on it. I don't know why.
like might be something similar to when my New Zealand story wasn't accepted. It wasn't a 1cc, and I was very heavily point pressing, but it's got a timer. That's the difference.
Yeah, and that bugs me too. I've been wanting to do a monologue on that topic. I just need to write it up and
it's got a
spend some.
timer.
I know.
I was just using the time to maximum potential, and I got a score of a little under 1 million. Got killed off on the last level, but because it wasn't a 1cc, it didn't count.
But it was higher than house high, correct?
Yeah, and higher than the world record.
Did Twin Galaxies take it?
And well, I didn't actually have the video.
Okay.
It was on one of the ghost cameras, to be fair, and I don't think the arcade track is even the same version.
Okay.
And
yeah, this is where I'm sitting at 13th. I thought I had this on the screen. This won't
where
fit
am I,
all.
just out of interest?
Where are you? I can find that.
I'm curious now.
61. You have 2 house highs. So you have 33 high score tokens. Of course, a lot of that is due to Joust. Oh, Joust and Paperboy.
I managed to get on some scorecards as well.
But the house high.
I got on the Phoenix scorecard, and I got on scorecard for Mooncrester as well.
So overall tokens 516.
And the Black Widow one, which they corrected the world record from the 6.8 million Bullpoo score to the 930,000 Twin Galaxies score.
Right. So that's another metric. I did put every game and score I've entered into a spreadsheet. So now also another metric is basically put a score on every game at the arcade.
I did actually nab 3rd place on Defender as well. So I got on the card
and got probably a decent amount of tokens. In fact, just 10 on that one. But yeah, tokens here. I mean, rank. I mean, higher, closer to 1. See, Joust 114 tokens. Yeah, the more scores on the game, the more tokens you get. That's what this number is. But that other metric was number of tokens from all the high scores you had. So
I took 3 house highs at the Underground Retrocade last year as well.
Yep.
Joust, Tapper, and Phoenix.
All right.
I put a score up of just under 1 million on your Tapper as well at the Ghost.
Yep. All right. Well, we are at. Here it is. I believe we're at the end of the podcast. Any final words?
Oh. I hope to see Andrew on.
So to see everyone. I hope to see you around the arcade soon. Next year.
Hopefully I'll make it back next year.
All right. You have your YouTube channel. I gotta find it. Basically, search on your name on YouTube, Tracey Gleave, 9919, 47 subscribers. But there's kind of some very good marathon runs in here, and hopefully Todd Freeman sees this podcast. I'm gonna send it to him. And somebody mentioned have him on the podcast. Yeah, that's another person I'll put under consideration. Let's see if I can get him on a Thursday night if he's got some free time. So I will try to do that in the near future because there's stuff coming up and yeah, the gaming thing's taken off, or at least for me, finally transition away from the wrestling scene because. Yeah, they had wrestling at the Midwest Game Con. I only went to half of it, which I guess fine by me anyway. All right, Tracy, I want to thank you for coming on. I hope I see you around the arcade soon.
Thanks for having me, and hopefully by next year I'll be capable of taking down more scores than I would have done this year.
All right. I'm going to see if I can get Todd to get you the train card. I think he needs information from you. I certainly wrote the back of these or wrote a description, wrote the text because I want it perfect. And of course I take a promo pic. So of course, yeah, the wrestling stuff kind of rubs off on the gaming scene a bit because obviously I've been posing with these championship belts and cutting promos in front of a camera. So yeah, some aspects of the wrestling business influence the gaming side quite a bit. But you've never wrestled, even though you're very strong.
I used to wrestle with my brother on the mum and dad's bed when we were young.
Actually, I should have asked you a long time ago. Do you play any sports? Did you play any sports?
I'm not really.
None. Okay, not during.
Well, other than I do some martial arts, if you class that as a sport.
Which is?
It's Tang Soo Do I do, which is a South Korean martial art.
Oh, martial arts. Okay. Yeah, I can count that as a sport. It's combat. Self-defense, too, but...
Yeah.
All right, Tracy, thank you for joining me.
I nominate Andrew.
Okay. All right, I'll have that because I'm going to write this name down. Andrew, Todd, and Aiden. All right. I got to pick... I don't have a guest lined up yet, so I got to pick somebody. So I usually would announce my next guest at the end of the program, but that's not happening this week because I have not chosen anybody. So I haven't talked to anybody either.
You can always bug Andrew about it tomorrow, right?
If I was up in Chicago, I'm not.
Are you not?
No, I'm in Springfield, Illinois.
How far is it?
200 miles.
Wow.
I work. This is where I live. This is where I work. So I got to take time off to make the commute up there.
I didn't realize you lived that far away.
Yeah. I would not live in Chicago. Let's put it this way. I was born in Southern Illinois, although the only place in Northern Illinois I lived was Rockford, which is to the west. Yeah, but that was for a short time.
It's that bit further west than Underground Retrocade.
Yes.
And I got the train and an Uber over there and stopped over a night. And Underground Retrocade, they went above and beyond to assist me.
Yes.
So definite big shout out to them.
I haven't been over there in years. I need to go over there. It's just been all my attention's been on GGA. Anyway, Tracy, thank you for well, it's now 10 o'clock of your time, which is a reasonable hour. But thank you. And
the night's still young.
Right. I hope to see you around the arcade soon, but
yeah.
Have a good night.
So realistically, you're looking next year.
All right. Tracy, thank you.
Okay. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Good night.
Good.
All right. Oops, cut you off by accident. Anyway, a little bit of a wrap up on the back end of this. I did want to cover this. Let me put this on the screen. Arcade Animals. So this is the throwback show to Starcade, which was a game show in the 1980s where players competed on 5 different arcade games. Only 4 were played per episode. Pretty much the standard Starcade format. This is at an Airbnb called Winners and Losers in North Carolina. They are running a Kickstarter project. What they are doing is basically the Kickstarter is to fund the creation of these episodes. On the back end of this, and I gotta find it. They did have. Let me jump over here a second. They did have a hotline and a sponsored hotline, which I happened to see, where they were taking basically call the number and leave a voice promo of why you should appear on the Arcade Animals game show. Guess that was again. So they picked 3 callers per episode to cut their promo, and they saved the best for last because I'm in here. I cut a promo. They used it on episode 6 of this program. If you got some time, look up Arcade Animals on YouTube and give it a listen. The only other bit of news, yeah, I said I have the post-convention blues. So that's the next weekend. I participated in a game competition called the Mega Game Tournament. It was hosted by Phil Moore of Nick Arcade. Last year, I got second place. I took home quite a bit of money, far more. Took home $500 from that tournament. The first place winner took home a guitar. Well, the winner of the 2023 tournament, who took home the guitar and $500, got 4th place this time around. I went up against Jim Patzer for another guitar. Now, there was no 2nd, 3rd, 4th place cash prizes this time. The grand prize was the guitar by itself. Jim Patzer beat me at NBA Jam. So, speaking of rivalries, Jim Patzer is another gamer that bubbling rivalry is starting to build. Besides Andrew, so. That's another person I'd like to have on the show sometime in the near future. I am going to release the video of the Mega Game Tournament, the final from last year, and then how the game tournament turned out this year. It was, yeah, I almost got eliminated before I got to the final round, but when the video comes out, I hope you give it some time to watch because it was quite a bit of fun. That was one of the activities at the Midwest Gaming Classic. Well, that is it for me, I believe. Oh, we got one more comment. Who's this? Oh, thanks. Gosh, I should have looked at that first before I put it up on the screen. It's spam. Darn it. Anyway. Replay of the podcast will be eventually posted to my YouTube channel. It will sit on Twitch for about a week. Then it'll be, I will upload it to my YouTube channel at tiny.cc/pwci. So I will announce sometime this week who my next guest will be. That's it for me for now. I am the Mad Conservative Crime Fighter and former Gamer of the Year, Stephen Lucas. I want to thank everybody for watching and have a good Sunday afternoon. Goodbye, everybody.